to my channel. I'm Alexa. Today we're making vegan matcha cheesecake. I measured out all my ingredients and I recommend that you do so too. You can find a full list of ingredients and measurements in the link in the description. Remember to watch the video first so you can be prepared.
First, I'm going to pour boiling water over my cashews until they're entirely covered. I'm going to let this sit so the cashews can soften. As soon as your crust is made and you're ready to start the filling, the cashews should be ready to use. Now I'm going to work on my crust. To do this, I'm going to put my oats into the bowl of my food processor and mix this until it's more or less a powder. You can use oat flour instead if you'd prefer. I'm going to turn off my food processor every once in a while and check how it's mixing. Now I'm going to add in the almond meal, but you can use almond flour instead if you'd like. It makes no difference. Almond flour is just lighter in color because the almonds are peeled. I'm going to add in the cinnamon and shredded coconut also at this step. I'm going to mix this until it's fully combined. Some of the oats were sticking to the sides of my bowl, so I'm going to scrape them off of there using my rubber spatula. are still some ingredients not mixed in well, so I'm going to scrape down my bowl again. Now I'm going to add in my melted coconut oil and agave. I'm going to mix this until it comes together into a paste. My crust looks great, so let's move on to the next step. Next, I'm going to press the crust into my springform pan. I'm using a rubber spatula to press the dough out into an even layer. It is important that the dough is in as even a layer as you possibly can get it, because otherwise it won't bake evenly. After the crust is evenly pressed into the baking pan, I'm going to poke holes in it using a fork. I'm going to do this evenly across the crust to make sure it doesn't puff up and release any steam. Now I'm going to put the crust into the oven. My oven's preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. My crust took 13 minutes to bake. Set a timer for 8 minutes and another for a few more minutes if it isn't done yet. When it's done, it should be golden in color. Put it on a cooling rack so it can cool. Now I'm going to start on the filling. To do this, I'm going to first put my cashews that I drained of the water they were soaking in. Coconut milk, lemon juice, yogurt, matcha, and agave into my blender. I'm going to blend this until it's smooth. I'm going to scrape the sides of the blender with my rubber spatula to ensure that everything is mixing nicely. The mixture looks smooth, so let's move on to the next step. Next, I'm going to put the mixture into the crust. I'm scraping the inside of my blender so all of it enters the crust. It'll automatically even itself out because of how liquidy it is, so you don't need to try to pour it in different sides of the pan. I'm going to put this into the freezer for about 2 hours until it's completely solid. Patiently use a small offset spatula to loosen the cheesecake from the sides of the pan. Just be careful not to use anything sharp because it will scratch your pan. And my matcha cheesecake is done and looking delicious. Please let me know what you thought of the video in the comments and how the recipe went for you. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you can see when new videos are added. Thank you and enjoy!